Hello everyone, welcome to the part 3 of our music player application project. In the previous videos we saw how we can retrieve songs from our internal storage in the list view, and we also saw how we can play songs from the list view adding on-click listener to the list view, and we have also worked on the play and pause button. So in this video I'll work on the previous, next and the rewind and forward buttons, as well as the seek bar, and I'll also add some animations inside this image view and in the visualizer. So let's get started. At first I'll go to our player activity, and here I'll create a new method to do our animations inside the image view. So here I'll create a new method called public void, let's call it start animation, and here I'll pass the view, and inside here I'll write object animator, and I'll create an object equals object animator dot offload, and here I'll pass the image view where I want to show the animation. So here our image view was okay, so we have to initialize that. So inside our player the ID of this image view was image view, so let's quickly initialize that. Here I'll write image view, create an object, and I'll initialize it here. Image view equals find view by ID r dot id dot image view. Alright, now I'll pass this image view object inside here, image view. Alright, so the next parameter is the animation type. So here I want to rotate the image, so I'll write rotation, and then I want to rotate this image from 0 degree to 360 degree so that it completes a full rotation. So I'll write from 0f to 360f. Alright, then I'll set the duration of that animation, so I'll write animator dot set duration, and I'll set the duration to 1 second, so 1000, and then I'll create animator set equals new animator set. Alright, and then I'll set the animator set to play together, and I'll pass the animator here, and then I'll start the animator. So animator set dot start, and here we forgot to put a semicolon. Alright, and now let's create on-click listener for the previous and next button. So for this, inside here I'll write button next dot set on-click listener, new view dot on-click listener, and inside here I'll write media player dot stop, and then media player dot release, and after that I'll just increment the position of that song. So I'll write position equals, and here I'll increment the position, and I'll mod this with the my songs dot size, so my songs dot size here. Alright, and then we will create a URI. So I'm creating an object for this, u equals URI dot parse, and here I'll pass my songs dot get, and I'll pass position here, and I'll convert it to string. Alright, and then I will just start the media player. So media player equals media player dot create, and here I'll pass the context, so get application context, and then I'll pass the URI here, which is u. Alright, and now let's add the song name to the song name text view. So s name equals my songs dot get, and pass the position here, and dot get name. Alright, and then I'll set the s name inside the text view, so txt s name dot set text, and here I'll pass the s name. Alright, and then I'll start the media player, so media player dot start, and then we also need to change the background icon of the play button. So button play dot set background resource, and here I'll pass r dot drawable dot ic underscore pause. Alright, and then I'll also start the animation of that image view, so that the image here completes a full circle. So here I'll write start animation, and I'll pass the image view here. Alright, so similarly we'll create the previous button, so I'll write button prev dot set on click listener, new view dot on click listener, and inside here I'll write media player dot stop, media player dot release, and then we have to decrease the position, so I'll write position equals, and here position minus 1. So if the position minus 1 results into less than 0, so if that happens, then we'll just decrease the total size of the my songs. So I'll write my songs dot size, and I'll decrease 1 from that, and if it doesn't less than 0, then we'll just simply decrease 1 from the position, so position minus 1. Okay, so it should be in a bracket. Alright, that's it, and then I'll create a URI, so URI u equals URI dot parse, and here I'll write my songs dot get, and I'll pass the position here dot to string, and then I'll call the media player equals media player dot create, and here I'll pass the context and then the URI. Alright, and similarly I'll set the name to the text view, so s name equals my songs dot get position dot get name, and then txt s name dot set text, and I'll pass the s name here, and then I'll start the media player, so media player dot start, and again we need to change the background icon of the play button, so button play dot set background resource, and I'll change it to r dot drawable dot ic underscore pause, and we'll also start the animation. So start animation, and I'll pass the image view here. So after a song is complete, and to automatically play the next song, we need to create a on completion listener. So here I'll do that, next listener. So here I'll write media player dot set completion listener, set on completion listener, and I'll create a new media player dot on completion listener. Alright, so inside here I'll just perform the next button click so that it plays the next song as soon as the current song is complete. So I'll write button next dot perform click. Alright, so now let's work with the seek bar. Before that, I'll change the colors of our application. So I'll go to the rest folder inside the values, and I'll choose the colors.xml, and here I'll change the colors to the main color we're using in the application, which is FF362E. Alright, so I'll just copy this for the color primary dark and the color accent also. Alright, so now we can work with our seek bar, and then we'll create a new thread here. So I'll write thread, I'll call it update seek bar, and I'll define it here. Update seek bar equals new thread, and inside here I'll override the run method, and here I'll define two variables. The first one is the total duration, and the total duration of the song will be the total duration we can get from the media player class. So media player dot get duration. Alright, and we'll also need to define another variable called the current position. Let's take it 0 initially. Alright, so now we'll update our seek bar on every 500 milliseconds. So for this I'll write a while loop, and the condition will be while current position is less than the total duration. Then inside I'll create a try method, and I'll write sleep for 500 milliseconds, and then I'll write current position equals media player dot get current position. Alright, and then I'll move our seek bar to that position. So I'll write seek music dot set progress, and here I'll pass the current position here. Alright, so our position will be moved on every 500 milliseconds, and now this is giving a error because we need to create a catch block here. So I'll write catch, and I'll call the interrupted exception and the illegal state exception E, and then here I'll write E dot print stack trace. Alright, and here we need to put a semicolon. That's it, and then I'll set the maximum position of the seek bar. So I'll write seek music dot set max, and here I'll pass the media player dot get duration. Alright, and I'll start the update seek bar thread here. So update seek bar dot start. Alright, so now let's change the background colors for our seek bar. So I'll write seek music dot get progress drawable dot set color filter, and here I'll write get resources dot get color, and here I'll write r dot color primary, and here I'll write comma, and I'll pass porter duff dot mode dot multiply. Alright, and then I'll write seek music dot get thumb dot set color filter get resources dot get color, and I'll write r dot color primary, and here I'll pass the porter duff dot mode dot src underscore in. Alright, so now let's create a seek bar change listener, because when the user will manually change the seek bar, the song should automatically get updated to that position. So for this I'll write seek music dot set on seek bar change listener, and here I'll pass new seek bar dot on seek bar change listener, and here we got three methods, but we'll work on the last one, which is the on stop tracking touch. So inside here I'll write media player dot seek to, and here I'll write seek bar dot get progress. So the media player's music will automatically seek to the position that the user selected. Alright, so now let's work for these two text views, which will store the current stage of the song, or the current time of the song, and the total time of the song. So let's do that. So the time we are getting from the media player is in milliseconds, so we need a method to convert the time into minute and seconds. So for this I'll create a custom method. So here I'll write string, I'll call it create time, I'll pass integer value, I'll call it duration, and here I'll create a string, I'll call it time, alright, and here I'll take a variable called minute, and I'll write duration divided by 1000 divided by 60, and then another variable called seconds, which will divide the duration by 1000 and mod 60. Alright, and then I'll write time plus equals minute plus, I'll add the colon here, and then I'll check if second is less than 10, then we'll add a extra 0. So time plus equals 0 here, and then outside of the if block I'll write time plus equals second, and then I'll return the time. Alright, so now let's go to here, and here I'll define a string. I'll call it end time, which is equals, I'll call the create time, and I'll pass the media player dot get duration. Alright, and then we will set this string to the txt stop. So txt stop dot set text, and I'll pass the end time here. Alright, so now for the current time, the current time will update it on every second, so we need to create a handler for that. So I'll write final handler equals new handler, and I'll also take a final integer delay. I'll take it 1000 because we want to update the time on every second, so 1000 millisecond is 1 second here. Alright, and then I'll write handler dot post delayed, and here I'll create a new runnable, and inside the run method I'll write string current time equals, I'll call our create time method here and pass the media player dot get current position. Alright, and then we will set that position, or we'll set the time inside our text view. So txt start dot set text, and I'll pass the current time, and then I'll write handler dot post delayed, and then I'll pass this here, and the second parameter is the delay, and then we need to call the delay here also. I'll write comma delay. Alright, so what that will do is that will update our current time on every second, and it will show it to the txt start. Alright, so our work with the progress bar is now complete. So now we need to work with the forward and rewind buttons. So let's do that. So I'll just add here button fast forward dot set on click listener, new view dot on click listener. So here I'll check if media player dot is playing, and then I'll just seek our media player. So media player dot seek to, and here I'll write media player dot get current position, and I'll add 10,000 milliseconds here, which is 10 seconds. So whenever the user will click on the fast forward button, the song will move forward to 10 seconds. You can put any value here according to your choice, but I am putting 10 seconds. Alright, so for the fast rewind I'll do the same. So btn fr dot set on click listener, new view dot on click listener, and here I'll copy the block here, paste it, and I'll just decrease the value. Now we can work with the visualizer. So for that I'll go to here and I'll write int audio session ID, and here I'll get the audio session ID from the media player. So media player dot get audio session ID, and now I'll check for the audio session ID. So if audio session ID not equals -1, then I'll write visualizer dot set audio session ID, and I'll pass the audio session ID here. That's it. So we need to copy this block here, and we need to pass this inside our button next and button previous. So I'll paste it here, and I'll also paste it in the button previous. Alright, so now we can also customize our player activity with a custom text on the action bar. So for this we need to go to our onCreate method, and here I'll write get support action bar dot set title, and I'll call it now playing, and then get support action bar dot set display home as app enabled to true, and get support action bar dot set display show home enabled to true. Alright, and now we need to override a method here. So for this I'll just override the on options item selected. So on options item selected, and here I'll check if item dot get item ID equals android dot r dot id dot home, then I'll just call the on back pressed. Alright, and for the visualizer we also need to override a method called on destroy, and here I'll check if visualizer not equals null, then we'll release our visualizer. So visualizer dot release. That's it. So now one thing I noticed is that our visualizer doesn't seem to work without the microphone permission. So for this we need to add the microphone permission. So I'll go to the manifest file, and inside here I'll add the microphone permission. So uses permission android.permission.record audio. Alright, and we need to ask for the permission in the main activity where we defined our previously said external storage permission. So here we need to change this with permission to with permissions, and here I'll write comma manifest dot permission dot record audio. Alright, and then we need to delete this block to the with listener, and I'll call the with listener again, and this time I'll pass new multiple permissions listener. Alright, so inside the on permission checked I'll call the display songs, and here as we are getting the permission token here, so I'll write permission token dot continue permission request, and here we need to write dot check. That's it. Now let's run this application to our phone and see what happens. As you can see, our app is now ready, and here are all the songs here. So if we click on any song, it will start playing with the visualizers on. We can pause that. We can also play that. We can go to next. Here is the animation in the image view. You can see. We can go to previous. We can fast forward our song. We can also rewind. Alright. And we can also update we can also manually update our seek bar. Alright. We can play any song from here. I'm sorry, but so yes, that was it. That's how we can create a music player application for Android. I hope this video was helpful for you, and if it was, then please consider subscribing and give a like to this video. If you have any confusions, you can ask me in the comment section, or you can knock me in my social media. Thank you so much for watching.